Are going to kick out the jams.
Taking the line first for the ladies in pink and brown, it is number 14, Darling Nikki, lining up against number 65, Blanche Devereaux in the gold.
Of course, Darling Nikki, having been here 9 of 10 Madison seasons. Nice pump off the start. She's going to go around the outside. Darling Nikki, your lead jammer.
Blanche Devereaux working up the inside, dive hard, giving her a hard time at the front, and breaks through on her initial pass.
And I tell you, right now, I think we're going to see some speed. This is what we expected with the rules changes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you remember, if you were here last time, we have had some rules changes this season. If you disliked 1-minute penalties, you're going to be really happy because they have been lowered to 30-second penalties. How exciting.
And we've got Gertrude Awakening.
Taking the line against number 22, that is Tango de Muerte. She is looking a little tangry tonight.
And she's the only Mad Rollin doll that lives in the same town I do, and we've never bumped into each other once.
Oh, maybe this is the year.
No, I think it's just me.
Tango making her way up the front, getting held up by Happy Go Lucky and Shop Susie, dragged to the back. And Tango works up the inside line in his lead jam for the Unholy Rollers.
Yeah, I tell you, Unholy Rollers doing a nice job on defense. They put up a wall right there. We're going to see her sneak through as Gertrude Awakening finally through the pack. And Tango wrecking ballin'.
Yeah, takes her time to attack that wall of pink, goes and sees that opening, picks up those 4 points for the ladies in gold and calls it off. That brings our score to Unholy Rollers 4, Vaudeville Vixens 3. Taking the line for the ladies in gold, it is number 987, Splatter Alice, lining up against number 45, Nefarious.
All right. And we're going to see Nefarious trying to work herself up through the front. Runs into a 3-wall. And the second turn, Splatter Alice with 2 to get by.
But those two are dive hard, and Darling Nikki, do not let her out easily. Nikki knocks her to the out, drags her all the way back, giving Nefarious the option to pick up lead jam for the Vaudeville Vixens.
Well, I'll tell you, Ali, for as long as I've watched Nikki skate, this year, I think the defense she's playing is the best I have seen.
She just keeps getting better and better. It's true.
Oh, Nefarious, nice move right there. Little help from Darling Nikki. Gonna spring her from an outside wall. She comes to the inside, calls off the jam.
And she picks up 2 for the Vaudeville Vixens, shutting out the Unholy Rollers on that last one.
And another skater, no stranger at all to the Mad Rollin Dolls. That's number 3, Rollin 1, Chop Susie.
And she's going up against number D4, Magic Missile.
Magic Missile going to keep those legs pumping. She's finally going to slide off a block. She goes inside. She's your lead jammer.
And Chop Susie making her way around, shrugs off a hit of herself, and is out on her initial pass. Magic Missile calmly steps through the pack there, picking up 4 points and calling it off.
Well, I've had the pleasure of seeing Magic Missile play about 3 or 4 times, and I would say she picked the right name.
Yes, she definitely did.
And they are lined up right now on the 101.5 jammer line. We've got Darling Nikki up against Blanche Devereaux.
And the magic of magic, we are all skate on the floor, still have all 4 blockers. No one has been to the penalty box. Let's see if I can jinx it. Oh, I did.
Yeah. It happens every time.
And it looks like A Magnitude picked up a penalty for a multiplayer block. And Blanche Devereaux also picked up a penalty.
Hey, you remember that trash compactor scene from Star Wars? That's pretty much what that whole pack looked like there for a while. And darling Nikki gonna work. Those are tough blocks to get. They just gotta keep those legs pumping. They're gonna bridge it out, and then they're gonna have to let her go.
Both packs doing a great job of bridging. You see them staying within 10 feet of each other to maintain that pack definition, but then also bridging up to extend the length of track that they can contact the jammer. And with 30-second penalties, we have both jammers back on the floor.
Oh, nice work right there by Blanche, I tell you. The little Melinda in that girl. She tiptoes that inside line.
And it looks like the Vaudeville Vixens picked up 5 points on that last pass, bringing the score to Vaudeville Vixens 15, Unholy Rollers 8. Taking the line, we see again number 311, Chap Susie, going against the Wrecking Ball, Molly Tov.
Well, I tell you, Molly Tov hits that hard. Unfortunately, loses her foot. And Chap Susie is gonna squirt through that like somebody stamped on a packet of ketchup.
Molly Tov given a hard time from that Vixens defense. Jean Dusnard, Dolly, pardon me, Montana Slammer.
Well, I tell you, having seen Chop come back earlier this season, she is in total different form at this point right now.
It's nice to take some time off sometimes and come back with a little extra fire in.
She's got that stride working again, the power working. It was a nice jam right there for Chop Susie.
She picks up 3 points on that last pass, shutting out the Unholies. Taking the line next, we have Splatter Alice, the ladies in gold, the Unholy Rollers, and Nefarious taking the star again for the Vaudeville Vixens. The Unholy Rollers do have a pack advantage going into this next one, as the Vaudeville Vixens have 2 in the penalty box.
And we get started from 101.5, jammer line, Nefarious being held up quite well by the 4-wall Unholies put up, and there we go.
And Splatter Alice is your lead jammer.
Nefarious, not an easy one to hold back.
She's squirrely.
Yes, she is. Right there, Rita Slayworth repositioning one of her blockers to the ground, unfortunately.
And we have some blockers going into the box. We have blockers coming out of the box, and the advantage is now with the Vaudeville Vixens on the track.
And that's going to get called off. And we're looking at a score. I know, the music is almost distracting.
It's amazing. Big shout out to Be Cool Entertainment. Fantastic job at all of our bouts this season, and many of our after parties as well.
That's right.
Speaking of after parties, Bob.
Wait. We have 3 bouts of roller derby and a party?
And a party. It is the best bang for your buck this evening, I think. Yeah, we're having an after party tonight at The Frequency and the Paradise Lounge at 119 and 121 West Main Street. There will be live music by the Venus and Furs playing as the Misfits and the Hung Americans, a David Bowie cover band, and the Hand-Me-Downs. It's going to be pretty fantastic.
That sounds like a blast.
So really, 3 bouts. I'm going to say 2 after parties. It's pretty good. $12. We have a timeout going on. Oh, excuse me, an official timeout. Thank you, Zito.
And of course, we always have to mention this. If you're at the after party and you want to meet your favorite skater, the announcers will set it up for you if you buy them a drink.
It's true. And I correct myself, it is actually an official review that is happening right now.
You know, I've been using that line forever, and it's never worked. You'll probably get drinks all night.
Well, if you wore a dress, you might get some drink spot for you, Bob. It's all about the choices you make.
Oh, my goodness.
We would also, we would also like to give a shout out to our charity this evening, Wilma's Fund, through the outreach, exploring the challenges faced by LGBT people who are homeless. Part of our proceeds of our ticket sales are going to them this evening. And if you put some money in the shout out box over at the merch table, we will first shout out whatever you say, as long as it's PG-13, and that money goes to our charity this evening.
But if you give me $10, I might say anyway.
Oh, Bob. I'm going to call Bam Bam. He's going to revoke your membership from the AFTDA.
I don't know if he can. I found it, Ed. So right now we have what would be a challenge. Explain a challenge to us.
Well, an official review is when one of the teams disagrees with a call that was made. They use one of their official reviews that they have one per half. They speak with the referees, and the referees speak about what they saw and all that fun stuff, and then they get back to the captains, they explain everything, and they say whether that review was upheld or if something was reversed.
And of course, if it's not reversed, they lose a timeout.
It's true, and if they win that official review, they maintain that, a second one for that half.
What did that go down? So we had, which team was the challenge? Gold was challenging that two blockers from the rounds to win with a legal re-entry. We confirmed that one did. So there was a legal re-entry, but they were not teaching.
So that review was actually regarding a challenge that a couple of the Vixen blockers entered the track illegally. The review essentially said that one did and one didn't, so that has been corrected, and I believe that that was their official review for the half.
Oh, look at that. Tanger's winning, going to get through the front, too.
And that is the OW Gertrude Awakening being held back by a wall of gold, but now out on her initial pass.
Well, I tell you, Tango over the years has really become an amazing jammer. Really good speed, good instincts. And I tell you, it looked like she was stuck in a vice going into turn one before she finally got through that.
Sneaked out of it.
And, oh, sorry.
No, speaking of those shout-outs, a very happy first bout day to our new NSO Roadblock. XOXOXO.
And welcome to you, Roadblock. Welcome to the family. It's not exactly functional, but it's damn fun.
And you'll never get away from us.
You'll have stories to tell the rest of your life.
And that lead jammer on the track is Blanche Devereaux, number 65. Daisy Jutes being held up by Micro Mauler in the front for about half a lap. Beautiful defense before she has to let her go.
Yeah, I tell you, that's a great sit block right there. And that's not especially easy for her because of her height, because ultimately you want it to be butt in the gut, and she's putting it in knees, but it works.
It works very efficiently. Daisy Jukes getting taken to the outside by Twisted Halo and Rita Slayworth recycled back. And Blanche Devereaux working her way up against Tipsy Velvet and Donna Stunner.
Of course, Rita Slayworth, one of the small handful of the original Mad Rollin' Doll skaters still playing.
Season 10 veteran. It's true, there's not many of them around.
Tipsy putting on the brakes as she comes around the corner here. And we're going to see it get called off. Oddly enough, of course, I first met Tipsy when she was the mascot for the Vixens. And to my surprise, I met her again 2 years ago playing with the 709 girls out on the east coast of Canada.
She gets around in the derby world. She likes to skate a lot. I don't blame her. I would go skate in Canada if I could. We got a shout out to Dex. We see you, girl. Hey. Love Ham and Armand. Ooh, out there we have Lead Jam. That is Molly Talk, followed closely by Chop Susie. Oh, look at them looking at each other.
That's right, that's old school. Oh, unfortunate incident there as Molly Top comes around the corner, has a slight advantage and a good line, but one of her teammates laying on the ground in front of her.
Unfortunately, she still picks up 1 point, and we are at just under 19 minutes left to go in this first half. It is a tie score, ladies and gentlemen. If you play the roller derby drinking game, I would highly suggest that this is a good time to drink. And if you don't, it would be a great time to go get yourself a refreshment or some merch from the table.
Well, in Milwaukee, we just always figure it's a good time to drink.
Well, that's Milwaukee. But Milwaukee is in the house this evening, and Fandangled is your lead jammer for the Unholy Rollers. Darling Nikki still making her way up, getting held up behind Twisted Halo and Splatter Alice.
What an amazing move that she just taps the defender on the back, gets her looking the wrong way, slides off the block, and frees herself up.
Fang working up that inside, gets knocked out by Betty Davis' thighs and recycled all the way back. It's Darling Nikki pushes her way up at the front of the pack. Splatter Alice tries to take one last swing, but unfortunately has to let her go.
And Fernandez is going to call that off after picking up 4 points.
We have a couple more shout-outs this evening. Again, you can get your shout-outs over at the merch table for $1 or however much you want to donate to this evening's charity. We have Go Vixens! Yay, Stunner! And we also have Madtown and Ritz shout out to the Russian Roulettes and all of the ladies of BCB here this evening. And that is once again lead jam for the Unholy Rollers. That is Magic Missile.
Man, I tell you, that's a missile with afterburners. She's got some amazing speed. Nice move right there. And of course, what every jammer loves, Allie, and that is a loose pack as she weaves herself through those blockers.
Just sneak right through there. No walls.
You don't even have to sneak at that point.
Just run through.
Not when you're a missile.
No.
And Nefarious is going to step up again, as is Blanche Devereaux.
We got a shout out to Hey Creeper, thanks for saving us a spot from your imaginary friends. 13, so.
And Nefarious right behind, they're going to do the locomotive there in front of her.
Blanche Devereaux wrecking ball up the inside line, picks up lead jam for the Unholy Rollers. Nefarious still stuck behind that sit block of Rita Slayworth and Micro Mauler at the front.
And as they hit the pack, both of them going to come through. Nefarious got to look for the inside. I think she's going to pull. No, they're going to take it 2-2. Nice job by Nefarious. Turn up the speed.
One more shout out right now. We are watching you, Dr. Swatson. Always watching you. Don't come over to our house for orange juice. Don't.
Oh, I get that kind of stuff all the time. And also see Tega Domerte right now up against Gertrude Awakening. And Gertrude gonna work herself into the center. Nice 2-wall up front. She's gonna slide off of that.
And Gert is your lead jammer for the ladies in pink. Tango still working her way up against 4.
Oh man, that was a very hard hit by Chop Susie. She didn't go down, but she stood her straight up.
Speaking of hard hits, Tango shrugged off one from Jean du Snark and Dolly Pardon Me out on her initial pass now.
And she's gonna get 5 points on the first run. That's a grand slam. You know what that means? We're going to Denny's, and I'm taking I don't know. I'm going to steak and eggs. Yeah.
I don't know what I want. Let's see.
I was at the World Cup. I was at the Men's World Cup out in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago. Some of the American skaters out there told me that used to make them laugh. They were the only ones that ever got it.
No one else knows what a Denny's is.
No. And that's okay.
That is Splatter Alice on the floor, on the track. Lead jammer for the Unholy Rollers, Darling Nikki, out on her initial pass. And Splatter Alice quick makes her way around the outside, picking up 4 points and calling it off.
Yeah, Splatter Alice with a real nice body fake at the very end of that to get that last point. Going to show that look inside, dart outside, as we see Chop step up to the line right now.
If you like some of the lovely face paint that you have seen here tonight on some of the Rollin Derby girls, we highly suggest you go to Malat's Pharmacy. There are locations on Madison's east and west side, and new locations in Lodi and Wanakee. They have costumes, wigs, and theater makeup, and they have a really lovely wine tasting over on the Monroe Street location too.
All right, I'm sold.
And Chop Susie sneaks around the outside, picking up lead jam, and it looks like Magic Missile has picked up a penalty and will be spending 30 seconds in the box, followed by Donna Stunner.
I hope she didn't leave the cake out in the rain. Oh, nice block right there, but it's not going to free Chop off.
Chop being held up in the front by Goldie Mean. And Goldie gets the out-of-play call and has to let her go. And the Unholys drop back for more defense. Beautiful hit by Jean du Snark, clearing that line. Chop Susie sneaks through, picks up another 5-point grand slam.
That was a bulldozer that just went through a wall. Oh, there's a shoulder. Molotov. I think she lit the fuse and it let the bottle explode on that hit.
Molotov is also one of the longtime skaters for the Mad Rollin' Dolls. This is her first season back after, I believe, a 2 or 3 year break. And she has come back
great.
Strong. Lining up here, we have Daisy Jukes for the Vixens going up against Splatter Alice. Splatter working her way up the front there against the wall of Dive Hard, A-Mag, Tipsy, and everyone. Nikki in the front.
Nice bridging, but they're gonna get outside the zone of engagement. They're gonna have to let her go. And is that a clockwise block? I think maybe we got called. But it's going to put one of the Vixen blockers down in the penalty box.
That is Dive Hard. She'll be spending 30 seconds in that lovely penalty box.
Oh, look at that!
Daisy takes a hard hit from behind. It looks like from one of her own players. Gets back up, working her way, again stuck behind Micro Mauler in the front. The one-woman front pivot.
I think she just gets tangled in people's legs and stops them.
Well, it's effective, whatever it is. And Alice calls it off. And it looks like the Vixens may have picked up some points on that last one. Let's wait for the call from the referees. They picked up 1. That brings our score to Unholy Rollers 53, Vaudeville Vixens 57, just over 10 minutes left to go in this first half. Ladies and gentlemen, reminder that this is the last home game of this season. The winners and losers of this will decide who is the matchup for semifinals and thus finals.
Yeah, just so you understand, this is the last non-playoff game. There are two. You've got the semifinals and the champs yet. So there's still plenty of derby coming your way.
Bumblebee beat down, takes a knee, gets right back up, and sneaks out for her initial pass. Great defense by Tango de Muerte, driving Gertrude out, forcing the call. Only able to pick up 2 points on that last pass.
She's got such tremendous speed.
Ger has been playing on the B team this last year as well. She was one of the skaters that went to the B Cup and, in fact, won the B Cup tournament in Bloomington. It was a wonderful weekend.
Hosted by Bleeding Heartland. Milwaukee actually had the distinction of winning the very first B Cup 2 years ago.
It's a really great event they have over there.
But then you come home and who's going to build the trophy cabinet? You know? You don't think about it. Who's the volunteer that knows carpentry? In Milwaukee, we just give everything to Dr. Brew. And we know he'll take care of it.
Just build us something, buddy.
Brew, we need a trophy cabinet. Bob broke the trophy. They re-glued it together, but nobody can touch it.
Duct tape, hot glue gun. They're always really good to have around. Any day. We have an official timeout right now. If you're ever wondering who called an official timeout, if the official is pointing at themselves, that means it's them.
And we're verifying scores, and I think that makes sense. It seemed to me that there was probably a pass or so in there that didn't get counted.
They're just going to count up all the points on either side, double check that, and also double check the time and make sure that's lining up with the clock that they have in the middle. Get all the play time in that everyone should get.
And we want to remind you that if you have some sort of vested interest in a basketball game later tonight, we're going to have that up on the Jumbotron.
And that'll be up during halftimes, I believe, and between games.
That's right.
Darling Nikki working her way up, getting stuck behind I Am Spazicus and Rita Slayworth, but sneaks up the inside and picks up lead jam for the Vixens. Blanche Devereaux also out on her initial pass. Darling Nikki comes in with some speed, swings around the outside, picks up 3 points, and calls it off, shutting out the Unholy Rollers on that last pass. I'd like to give a shout out to one of our sponsors and one of the locations of our after party this evening, the Paradise Lounge. We are the neighborhood bar downtown. Come and enjoy great drinks and even better food, and come enjoy our after party there and at the Frequency next door this evening.
And Chop Susie Magic Missile going to line up. And that Magic Missile looking for something down the center. Oh, she's got to get some room on the inside. They open the door for her, and she is gone.
Hello, Sailor. Big push to Chop Susie in the back. Unfortunately, picks up a cut, and we'll be spending 30 seconds in the box.
Oh, Unholy's right there. Look at that defense. Totally pressed the Vixens to the outside of the track. Magic Missile shoots through there. I might have had a chance at running through that gap, but just barely.
It's good. Your team does good defense. It makes you be able to jam really well. And if you can jam really well and you also have good defense, it is even better.
And Golden Meat going to try to disrupt the 3-wall. And Vixen's doing a nice job of keeping things locked up. Oh, Chop Susie's going to get through the Unholies. And Magic Missile says, "Nuff of that."
And it looks like at the end of that jam, Donna Stunner pushed out the Unholy Jammer, tried to pull back to recycle her to the back, but in doing so, broke the pack. And so she did pick up a breaking the pack penalty and will be spending 30 seconds in the box.
Well, it's a good thing if anything gets broken, there's never any more tape than there is at a derby, Bob.
It's true. So the Vixens have a short pack going into this. The Unholies have the advantage with 4 on the floor, holding back Daisy Jukes in front, and Splatter Alice is their lead jam in gold.
And Splatter Alice through there so quickly and already calling out to her back. Oh, nice move right there. That's a Vixen that had tone, had block, but it just didn't explode.
The Vixens offense clearing out the way, the Unholy's offense clearing out the way for Splatter Alice to get through for another 5-point grand slam, and it looks like Daisy Jukes has picked up a major forearm, or just a forearm now with the new rule set, as every penalty is just a penalty. You see the Vixens lining up in a defensive wall. Splatter Alice moving her way through. Splatter Alice making her way up again through that wall. Dive hard and snark. Calls it off, picking up another 5-point grand slam pass for the Unholy Rollers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the scoreboard, it is currently Unholy Rollers 91, Vaudeville Vixens 62. Just over 4 minutes left to go in this first half. Taking the line for the ladies in gold, it is number 22, Tango de Muerte, going up against Gertrude Awakening.
Well, you know, to me, when you take a look at the jammer rotation of the Unholy Rollers, you're looking at a group of jammers that have very similar styles, and it is power-driven. And, of course, the Vixens putting up these walls, these are girls that are well adjusted to that kind of defense. It's going to be a tough night.
And Tango is your lead jammer, making her way up through that defense of Dolly Pardon Me and AMAG. And it looks like the Vixens jammer has picked up a major forearm, spending 30 seconds in the box, making this a power jam for the Unholy Rollers. And another forearm will send Montana Slamma to the box for an additional 30 seconds. That is 5-point grand slam pass for Tango de Muerte.
Oh, right there. And of course, it's so important to get through those walls, Allie. You know, you got to make that quick shoulder twist.
Love the juke shoulders.
They'll sneak it through that small gap between the blockers and kind of can opener their way through that. Oh, that's a nice juke move around the outside.
Beautiful defense by Hello Sailor in the back, drawing Daisy Jukes back, Gertrude Awakening back into the pack. That is another 5-point pass at the end for Tango, extending the Unholy's lead to 106, Vaudeville Vixens 62, and we have a team timeout for the Vaudeville Vixens. We'd love to take this time to thank the fabulous doctors here at the bout from Integrated Sport and Spine, also known as ISS. They take the ouch out of your day, and they are here supporting the Mad Rollin' Dolls, as they do every bout. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, those are the only people that come here to work that we hope have nothing to do.
It's true. Also, yes, a shout out to the EMTs who are always here supporting and hoping that we stay safe, which we usually do. and who hopefully have nothing to do but put on some Band-Aids. Which they're really good at because they've helped me out with that a lot.
Yeah. Hopefully it's never anything worse than my feelings being hurt, which happens a lot.
They have Band-Aids for that too. I think they might have flowers or Snoopies on them. And action back. Ready to start on the track. Darling Nikki taking the star for the Vaudeville Vixens, going up against Blanche Devereaux in gold for the Unholy Rollers.
And I tell you, Darling Nikki, who's usually pretty slippery going through that pack, really takes a hit.
And Blanche Devereaux sneaking up around the outside, picks up lead jam for the Unholy Rollers.
Oh, Nikki there with a really, really nice move. When you've got two blockers, it's not often that you'll juke one to the outside, then cut between them. But that's exactly what she does.
Blanche entering the back of the track, calling it off, and the Vixens sneak in, pick up 2 points to the Unholy's 2 points, matching them. That brings our score to Unholy Rollers 108, Vaudeville Vixens 64. About a minute and a half left in this first half of gameplay. We would like to remind you that all merch sales have 10% off this evening, so if you've been eyeing that lovely t-shirt, or that bandana, or that Dairyland Dolls long sleeve shirt, head on over to the merch table. 10% off today only.
And Chops is going to get run to the inside. In the meantime, Magic Missile going to call off that jam.
Can you watch it?
All right, I'll just start the
And we have just under a minute left, which means we will have at least one more jam in this first half of gameplay. Would like to remind you that this jam will conclude when a lead jam calls it off, or at the end of 2 minutes, not when the clock reaches 0.
Yeah, just like the NFL, it's not done until the final play is over. Even the clock's expired. And we're going to see Nefarious right there doing what she does best, and that's usually digging her way through to the inside line.
Vixens doing hard defense at the front, holding back Twisted Halo.
Oh, sorry.
And it looks like Twisted Halo has picked up a track cut and will be spending 30 seconds in the box, making this a power jam for the Vaudeville Vixens. Nefarious making her way up against a 2-wall of Fang Dangled and Micro Mauler. And both teams are 4 strong on the track. Darling Nikki doing a great offensive block, clearing the way. Nefarious still working her way up through that wall of gold. And it looks like Fang Dangle unfortunately picked up a forearm elbow penalty.
Yeah, not the kind of wall of gold you really read about, search for, or want to see.
Nefarious enters that wall hard against those Unholy Rollers, holding her back still. Twisted Halo got back onto the track at the very end of that. And that is the halftime, ladies and gentlemen. The Vixens picked up 4 points on that last jam, bringing our score to Unholy Rollers 108, Vaudeville Vixens 83. You have just under 10 minutes to get some food, get some merch, get some beer, and get back to your seats.
Do we go to them now?
But before we do that, rumor has it we're going to go back to Aurora, Illinois. And another segment with Wayne and Garth.
Wayne's World, part time, excellent. All right, welcome back to Wayne's World. That was a great first half of action, wasn't it, Gart?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So we've got a lot of great detailed analysis and commentary on that first half coming up, but we thought it would be best if we started by stating the obvious. Swing, shooing, showing, shooing. right. All right. Well, we had some skaters lined up here. Let's bring our first skater out, Splatter Alice of the Unholy Rollers. Welcome, Splatter Alice.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Garth.
Hi.
Hi.
Splatter Alice, is it true that your derby name is named after a Tool song?
It is.
Excellent.
Very.
All right. Well, that first half went pretty well for the Unholies. What do you have to do to keep things in good shape for the second half?
Do everything the same.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Is that possible?
We can do everything better, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Good attitude. Good attitude. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for halftime. Thanks for joining us, Splatter Alice. All right, everybody. Join us again for the second half coming up soon.
Yeah, thanks, Splatter Alice. Hey, Wayne, if Splatter Alice was a horrible disease that decimated half of Europe during the medieval times, she'd be the bubonic plague.
Excellent. All right. We'll be back in a little bit. Thanks, everybody.
And there you have it. From Aurora, Illinois, it's Wayne's World. I'm Bob Noxious, and I've got a moment here with Donald Haar, who's the founder and program manager of Wilma's Fund. Wilma's Fund being the charity that this bout is helping support this evening. And Donald, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
Thank you. Wilma's Fund I started about 3 years ago when I turned 50, and we do rental assistance, security